Allowing is to allow yourself to receive and just let go of that resistance. That's so important in your life, to let go of resistance.
Agent Power Huddle is a daily jumpstart, giving you all the tools you need to create an amazing real estate career. Led by top experts in the field, you'll learn how to sell more houses in less time while creating the life you want. Welcome to the Agent Power Huddle.
Hello, everyone. I am Monica Graves, and welcome to the Monday Mindset with the Agent Collective. I am a certified licensed teacher of Louise Hay. If you've ever heard of that book called You Can Heal Your Life, I do that training. And also, I'm my own author of my book, and it's called Inner Being Imbalance. And it's 7 steps to manifest success in your life, your business, and beyond. And so for the last couple of weeks that I have been presenting here, we have gone over the 7 principles. And so I would like to bring those up again. And what you'll see here is a challenge that I do. It's called 22-Day Challenge to Balance. And we're not actually doing this 22-day challenge, but I will be offering that later this year. And it's always a great thing to do in December to get yourself prepared for the beginning of the year. So I will let you know when I do the full class. It is a 2-hour course. And then from there, we do 22 days until January 1st. And then, of course, we celebrate the new year. Okay, so let's get started here. The mindset aspect of things that I want to talk about are these 7 principles. And last week or 2 weeks ago, I talked about believing. And believing in yourself is the first step to becoming a master at anything. Okay, so that principle we already discussed. What we're going to discuss today is allowing. And allowing is to allow yourself to receive and just let go of that resistance. Okay. That's so important in your life, to let go of resistance. Okay. That's what we're going to talk about today. But I just want to go ahead and finish with the 7 principles here. Learn from your mistakes and realize that there are no failures. Affirming, creating and repeating positive affirmations. Because affirmations, if we start our day with those positive and repeating those affirmations, you got to realize what you're saying to yourself every single day. And then nurturing, taking the time daily to nurture your body, mind, and soul. And then celebrating, having fun, and being grateful. All right, very important. And then expanding is that last principle. And that says expand your thinking to reach greater success. Okay. So let's get going here. I will show you, if I can get my mouse to work. Let me just scroll down here. So this is the book, Inner Being in Balance. And you can go to innerbeinginbalance.com if you want to order a copy of the book. And this goes over those 7 principles. Excuse me. So with believing, we say to start your day with some sort of, short meditation, reading something positive, and then allowing is that next step. So after meditation, or even during meditation, you want to allow your feelings and your emotions to enter your physical and emotional self. Okay. With this practice of allowing, you will become more intuitive to your needs and your desires. Your energy of that least resistance, remember I talked about that, practicing least resistance and it is an art, we'll talk about that here in a minute, is when you can start your day with an open mind, okay? Allow all the good that you are radiating to mirror the good in others. Allowing will help attract to you which goals you will set for your day. And then you want to let go of any kind of complaining or resistance that comes to you. And what I do in the morning, I know this sounds a little goofy, but it really works. You want to open your arms into this big V, like almost like a funnel, okay? And say that I allow all good things to enter my life today. And I usually do that right before I get out of bed too, because I'm like, I open myself, I'm going to be a funnel for all the good things and allow those things to enter into my life today. It's so simple, just to raise your arms into a V, open yourself up like a funnel, and just have all those good things and allow them to come to you. Okay, so let's go back and let's talk about this, what I was talking about. Allow these feelings and emotions to enter your physical and emotional self. So when we talked about how important starting your day with meditation, and what I mean by meditation, that could be as easy as, laying in your bed before you get up. I usually try to do that. Just lay there, you're awake. You've opened your eyes, you see what time it is. Give yourself just 5 minutes. That's all you really need, just to lay there a little bit more and just visualize how good you have it. Okay. If you're in a bed and you have a pillow and you have sheets and comforter, blanket, how grateful you should be just to have those few little basic needs in your life. And then as you visualize, you can see yourself, how is your day going to look? And I always see my day as positive. I see that the things that I might need to do, but I take that first hour by going and getting up, getting some coffee, getting some tea, and that sort of, gets your body going. Drinking a big glass of water is always important. And then sitting down and do just a short meditation somewhere else besides your bed. It only takes like 30 seconds, really, to visualize how you want your day to go. So when you're allowing yourself after that meditation or even during the meditation to see what kind of feelings that you have, the feelings and emotions to enter into your physical and emotional self. So you want to have those feelings be good feelings, not fearful. Okay. So a lot of times people start their day in fear because they know they've got some pending things happening, whether it's, going to a listing consultation or a buyer consultation, or that you've got a closing coming up and you wonder if it's really going to happen. There's a lot of things that you can start your day with that bring fear into the situation. And I always talk about fear as, don't allow fear into that physical and emotional self, because it can lead you into thoughts that you don't really need. And fear, the acronym fear, I talk about this a lot, is you've heard of a lot of different things, is I say it's false events appearing real. So a lot of the things that we do to ourselves with fear is we allow that fear into our thoughts, and it's actually something that we are creating, and it's not really real. Fear is important in your life. If you are, walk up on a rattlesnake, I've had that happen to me a lot here in Colorado, hiking, and that fear can take over to help you to either run away or to do something about it. So yes, fear is important, but a lot of fear we actually create in our own mind. And so that's why I say false events appearing real. And a lot of times it's not really real. We're just putting it into our head. And that is called least resistance. So you're putting up a barrier or this resistance so that you can't allow the good to come in because you're filling yourself up with all these thoughts of fear. So the energy, and we all know about energy, it's real. Albert Einstein proved it. The energy that you want to have when you first start your day is a positive mindset, open mind. And that's where that V comes in, is you're saying, I allow all the good to come to me. And then also what's going to happen is your energy, if you have that good energy radiating all around you, it will also help others to feel that. And so what I have found by having this goodness or this good feeling and allowing that good to come to me, I'm also giving good. I'm giving good energy. And when you give good energy, you're going to see that you're going to attract a lot better people into your lives. You're going to have better buyers, better sellers. You're going to have people that really, really want to work with you, and they're not going to disrespect you. Because if you respect them and you are saying, I really want to do the best that I can do, I want to do the best job, then that energy that you are radiating is going to mirror that in others. And so you're going to start attracting better and better business into your life. So allowing, that's what I'm saying here, allowing will help you to attract the people that you need to meet for those goals that you set for your day. Okay, so if you set a goal that I am going to make 10 phone calls today just to see how my clients are doing. So I try to do that every weekday, Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday. And you want to put this big smile on your face, okay, before you make that phone call. I promise it works. They can feel your smile through the phone. And if you do video texting, of course, you want to be smiling, right? And just allow that goodness of how you feel, because this is good stuff, right? Making those phone calls is really good stuff in your business. Making those video texts are very good. Making any kind of video is good. And you want to feel very positive about what you're doing, because I am hoping right now that you can feel the energy that I have right now, and that will radiate out through these electronic systems that we have. And when you set goals that way, and you can do things like, setting those goals before you make the phone calls, setting the goals of how many appointments that you're going to be able to set from those phone calls. And when you visualize it and you allow that visualization to open up your mind and just say that I allow all good things to enter into my life today, you're going to see that this actually works. It works great. It's letting down that least resistance, letting down all of that resistance that you might have, that you build up with the fear or the nervousness or the, not having enough confidence. When you allow yourself to be confident and you allow yourself to have that high energy, that vibration, you're going to see that you're going to attract the people that you need to attract into your life to accomplish more success towards the goals that you set. So let's do another example. Let's say that you have someone that you have signed up a listing agreement with. Okay, I just had this happen in the last week, and it was stressful, to say the least, but it was also good practice for me. So I had a seller that was very distrusting. Is that a word? Did not trust my process. Okay. Now, sellers have their process, right? And you need to have your process. Sellers make the decisions, but if as long as you have a process, you can usually overcome a lot of those decisions that they make within their life, within the listing. So what happened with me is it was a couple that has never sold a property. They bought several properties and they just held on to them. And now they're in that time of their life where they want to start selling some of them. So they hired me as a referral from their son and daughter, who I've helped buy and sell homes. And so, when you get someone that's not trusting, that's never done something, what's the main thing that happens? Fear. Okay, so they had a lot of fear. I had to really go slow in the beginning, and then I had to speed up because once you list, then especially in the area where I was listing one of their properties, I knew that there was probably going to be multiple offers, but I wanted to show them that I had a process. Okay. And that process was these steps to get them to listing it actively and then getting multiple offers and then going under contract. Okay. That was my process. But literally, I came up with resistance from them in every single step because of fear. Now, they had fear. And a lot of times, and this is true, that if someone has fear around something, it can cause you to feel the same way. Okay. So their energy is they didn't trust me, and my energy needed to not match theirs. Okay. So a lot of times in life, the fear or anger or somebody not trusting you, it can cause you to break down and also match the way that they feel because that energy that they are putting out. So it was practice for me every single day. I'll give you an example. When they said they did not want to sign in the yard, and I said, why? Right? And it was really, the way they said it is, there's no way that you're putting a sign in our yard because we just do not like the look of it. And we don't want strangers knowing that we have our house for sale. And I was like, okay, hold on. Let me give you some studies. And the studies have shown that with a sign and with brochures that you can attract up to 20% of the buyers out there. Not everybody is electronic. And if they are electronic, it helps people to see that there's a sign in the yard, get interest, and then they use their phone or use their laptop to look up about the property. Okay. So that was fear on their part that I had to explain. And without getting upset, without putting this out, thinking that they're, stupid, that was the first thing that came up in my head was, oh no, this is dumb. I need to help them to understand. But I put on that, allowing myself to have the confidence, allowing my process to take over and not be disrespectful to them, even though I felt like the way that they were treating me was disrespectful. So I got past the sign. Then once my sign people delivered, they didn't like the sign. They didn't like the way it looked. They wanted a different sign. And so I told them that I would look through my signs and send over a photo before we had another sign installed. Okay. Finally got the sign installed. Then they didn't like the way that the brochures were situated on the yard arm. And there's no way I can take it off the yard arm. I had to actually bring another brochure box and put it in the yard. So there was, it was just these little things, step after step after step, trying to cause me to get irritated. And I didn't let that happen. And So then another example was we finally got it listed active. And you know how the syndication works. And I don't know if it could be different in different states, but the way it works here in Colorado is it takes a second. It takes a few minutes, sometimes a couple of hours for that syndication to happen in Zillow, Redfin, some of these other big websites. They take your information from the MLS and then they load it into their system. And it's the photos, your description, all of those things. Well, the seller had it set up so that when it got listed active, it would pop up on his phone. And so, of course, it did. 2 seconds after, it did pop up on Zillow, where he had it, where he was saving information, saving about the address to let him know that it was listed. And of course, it listed the old photographs. Now, these photographs were really old. And so it showed, a property that, and plus whoever did it last used iPhone photos or different types of photos versus my professional photos. So of course, when it showed up as active, he sees all of these photos. So he reached out, screaming, yelling, saying that what I did was disgusting and that I needed to take the listing down ASAP, that he didn't want anybody to see that this was his property. And I had to take a big breath, right? And just, somebody is yelling at you. We, sometimes say sellers are yellers. And he's telling me that I'm doing this terrible job, which I know it takes a few minutes to get that syndication live with the best photos and the best description. So again, I could have let his energy, come over and cause me to be irritated, cause me to say things that I didn't want to say. Instead, I took a deep breath, smiled, okay, because smiling can help change your energy. And I allowed myself to see me personally, physically and emotionally. I was going to be the best person that I can be in this situation. And so I just calmly said, why don't we just wait a few minutes? If it hasn't switched over to these to my MLS and to my professional photos and the ones that you approved and the description that you approved, if it haven't switched over in 3 hours, then something's probably wrong, and I will correct it. And so it did, right? It came up it actually was only like 15 minutes, and it posted the correct photos and everything. Okay, so the trust started happening at that point. Everything that I was doing to help, please this person that had a lot of fear in selling their home, step by step, as I came in and things were being corrected or things were, showing him that he had to trust me, it started allowing him to have that trust. And then, of course, we get multiple offers. And then I go over all the offers with him. And then it allowed him to see that all those steps that I said that we were going to go through to get under contract happened. But his nervousness and fear was actually making it harder on him, the male seller. And I had to put myself and put that hat on that says, I am the listing agent. I know what I'm doing. And I had to allow myself the confidence. Let that come in. I have a process. If I follow my process and I get the seller to see that I have a process, then it broke down the resistance that he had and the complaining that he had. And then it started letting go. And then yesterday, when we went under contract, it all went smoothly. Okay, so that's just an example I would like to share with you. And I'm sure that you have some examples of where you've had that same thing happen, where there's buyers or sellers that are trying to blame you for their feelings. Now, when somebody tries to blame you for their fearful feelings or their distressing feelings, a lot of times you can get defensive, right? That barrier comes up. And when I talk about the least, I mean, you're having resistance, and you want to have least resistance. You want to be transparent. If you can be transparent, and what was so cool is I met somebody on Friday last week, and it was a buyer, and they were new to the area here in Colorado, coming up from Florida. And they, again, a lot of people, when they're looking at situations where it's all new, they had some resistance. And I just, opened up myself to be transparent and very honest. And they said they've bought and sold, many homes in their life, and that they wanted to work with me because of my transparency. And when I heard that word transparency, that was probably the best compliment that you can have, is because what you're doing is you're listening, and then you're taking that in, and it helps you to think straight, right? When you do that, when you have the confidence, and then you can give to them the answers to help them make decisions. So buyers and sellers always make decisions, but you have to follow your process, and you have to let them know your process so that they can feel more comfortable. And once they feel more comfortable with you, because you are very transparent about how things are going to go, you allow yourself to be this open book. And if you have that mindset of you are very helpful, and you allow yourself to be helpful, then you're just going to attract the people that are very awesome buyers and sellers. Anything in life, you're going to attract so much more good into your life. Let's say it's something that you want to do with investing. Or in my case, I wanted to short-term rental one of my properties. And I kept going through companies, company after company, because they didn't live up to the standards that they actually said online that they were. Now, I might have had a little bit of fear in that because I've never short-term rented a property. And so, I had a lot of questions, and I wanted to know their process. So I finally found someone that showed me their process. And it was so much simpler than these other companies. And so I had to go through different companies to get to that place where I felt the most comfortable. Okay. So you're going to be doing that in life as well. But again, with that least resistance, you're going to eventually find the person, the company, the thing that you need to help you with your goals. Okay, so that's why meditation is important, visualization is important, believing in yourself is important, having the confidence, because what it's doing is helping you to form that energy of least resistance so that you can attract to you the person or the company or the thing that's going to help you with the goals that you personally have. So I hope that this was something good that you can take out to your week this week. And maybe you can start doing that. Start with your believing in yourself, and start with the meditation and writing down your goals and visualizing the way you want your day to go, and then allowing it to happen. Okay. Because allowing, a lot of people sometimes don't get that when they say, what do you mean allow? And I'm like, I'm just allowing myself to have all the good, because sometimes we can block it. We can block it in so many things that we do. Another example, let me throw one more out there, is traffic. Okay. So if you have this feeling before you leave that traffic's going to be terrible, there's going to be a wreck, I'm just sure that it's going to be bad. Well, you can actually, because of your energy, you can cause it to be worse than it really is. So I've been in situations where, I let people over. Okay. I'm just that type of person. I'm like, okay, taking my time. Somebody wants to merge. I'm going to let them merge in, where other people will have that. No, I'm not letting you get in front of me. And they have that energy. Well, if you carry that kind of energy with you, it's going to be that resistance of allowing good to happen to you, because you are focusing in on just you. Your ego is telling you, there's so much traffic. I'm definitely not letting this other person over. So that's just a small example of how you can get into your car. I do the same thing, open my arms wide before I start driving. And I ask for, blessings. I ask for things to happen while I'm driving that are all good, versus having the negative energy of starting to drive out there and having all that negative energy about the way the day is going to go with me driving. So just that little thing with the driving aspect of it has changed my life. I drive a lot. I drive in the mountains. There's, sometimes lots of traffic because of the snow. And I just have to take it easy, put an audible in, listen to something great, and it really does change your day. But you have to allow it. You have to allow that path of least resistance and your energy to be good, so that you can match that energy and the good in others and the good in things. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this. The next time I'm on, we will be talking about learning. Okay. So have a wonderful week, and I look forward to talking to you next time.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.